Pick the Nintendo Shack and pray. Frederick from Fire Emblem Awakening says, yo.
Greetings, Kooplings, and welcome back to the Nintendo Shack. My name is Donnie Reese, and boy, is it glad to be home. I'm not even sure if anybody remembers that I used to host this show. Garrett, Rebecca, what's going on, guys?
So good to have you back.
Thank you.
Welcome back, boss.
I feel like I missed everything. Literally everything. I feel like I missed it all. I did write down some things that I wanted to say. I missed the Nindy Direct. I never even really watched it. I saw trailers, but everybody was like, don't bother. I missed telling the world about the gorgeous Animal Crossing Switch that I have and this beautiful dock and everything. I missed that. I missed Mario Day. I missed my birthday. I missed my own birthday. I couldn't even come on the show and talk about Mario Day. And the amazing thing that the team did for me, they got me a birthday present completely out of the blue. Project Mario. I don't know how it happened or what happened. I had no clues. Complete surprise. It was just like, woke up, happy birthday. Beautiful little video message. And it was very, very touching and a nice pick-me-up. And I didn't even get a chance to say thank you on podcast because I haven't been podcasting in a couple weeks. As I talked about on Xbox Empire, which I wasn't even supposed to be on that show. Just happened to be home. For the last couple of weeks, I work in emergency management in Atlanta, and we are activated for the pandemic. And boy, have we been going! We reached a point over the weekend where things started to, I won't say normalize, but things started to become more regimented. We started to sink into a nice little battle rhythm
Routine.
Yeah, and I was like, all right, I'm going to be able to make it. And then yesterday, I was working till like 9:30. I was like, I may not be able to make it. Like if this happens again, but no, it was fine. I got home on time today, plenty of time. I already ate dinner and everything, so I was very, very excited. I have not played as many games as I would like to, but I have played quite a bit, which we will get into here in a little bit. But before we break into the show and talk about all that was today's Nintendo Direct surprise, we'd like to thank all of those that support the cause over at patreon.com/PSVG. So, for the first time in a few weeks, thank you, Callow, Barry Cathcart, Josh, Borboni, The Bonesaw, Coach Mo, Chris McElfresh, Devin Tyus, Kyle Heyman, Paul Calicote, Michael Masick, the Eggsham himself, Zach Bradshaw, and new patron subscriber at the producer tier, Nick Fallhaber? Fallhaber.
Could be a Boston accent.
Nick, we're not sure how to pronounce the last name. Like we all know you, we see in the Discord and everything, but like I got nothing. Like we need a pronunciation text.
Oliver.
Fallhaber. I like it. It's like Excalibur. I got it.
Yeah. Close enough.
We're probably so wrong.
We're way off. We're way off. I guarantee it. We're way off. But guys, man, this feels good. I've missed. And you know what? Also, I should have said much thanks to Kevin and Jason for stepping in and filling in. That's why we have a team. That's why PSVG was always based on being a team. I would have never done this. Actually, I think I told all the original members, I would have never done this if it was just 3 or 4 of us, because I have always known that at any moment I may not be able to make it. It's just the nature of my thing. So if I didn't have folks to rely on and folks to depend on, they did a great job stepping in for me. Except for Kevin. Nope, he didn't do a great job. It's just
why did you throw at us with him?
Kevin and I just have very opposing like Nintendo views, which is funny because when we're not talking Nintendo, we're actually usually very on the same plane when it comes to most other non-things, but Nintendo things, we just never see eye to eye. So it's always funny. I'm sorry?
It makes for good podcasting.
That's true. I love Kevin. I love Kevin to death. Definitely I wouldn't do PSVG without Kevin. If Kevin quit, that'd be it. We'd all quit. Or I'd quit.
And Donnie, we've missed you, but so much respect for what you do.
Oh, thank you very much. I don't do much. So we're doing swab sites. That's what we're doing, right? You've got symptoms. You go to the doctor. The doctor tells you to go get tested. You got to go to a test site. We're putting those on, right? Because PPE, gloves, and the test kits themselves are like hard to come by commodities right now. So you want to do it in a controlled space. So we have a place that you go to do it, and we're doing it. And just to let, I don't know if any of our listeners know. I mean, I talked a little about this on Xbox, but just to let you inside, like public health, every state's different, obviously. Our public health here in our state is ran basically by the state. Their process for setting up like these appointments is kind of a mess. It's like very paper, it's very government, it's like very old. So, and that's like exactly what I do. Like my job really at its nuts and bolts, like at the bare bones of it, is I build software to stop process like that from happening. Like I try to streamline processes to get people working. So my 911 director walked in, they saw them like posting like paper up on the wall, like in different columns and stuff, trying to keep up with who was there and which person came. He was like, "What are you doing?" He was like, "This is a disaster."
My goodness.
So they sent me a picture of what they were doing, and they were like, he was like, "Donnie, fix this." So I built them 2 days ago. I've been working around I built them in like an appointment system. So when they get the paper, they type it into a computer. We can get to see who's coming, what time they're supposed to be here, whether or not they showed up or not. If they did, it's green. If they didn't, it's red. If it's red, it sends an alert. These are basic things that I think
that's so odd. They didn't have a system like that.
It's the thing my wife said. She's like, they don't even have a system. She's like, oh, we're screwed.
It's 2020, for goodness sake.
She's like, why are you building this for them? I'm like, hey, it's keeping us gainfully employed. So,
there you go.
But to shine a little light, the person that's doing the testing called me today, and she was like, I just want to let you know, you were making a huge difference. She's like, of everybody that's doing stuff, she's like, she's like, I can't tell you how much frustration and time you saved us. And like, because she sent me, like, I did, she told me what she wanted. I did like a concept. And she was like, she started using it. So obviously every time somebody starts using it, they start coming up with all the things in the world that they would want it to do. And they want it to make phone calls and do notifications and change the color of this and change that. So she sent me a list of like 20 bullet points of updates and things. She's like, hey, I know everybody's busy. If you can get this done for us, this would make our lives a lot easier. And like 40 minutes later, I was like, these are all done.
Oh, that's so nice.
She's like, wow. Are you serious? I was like, yeah, go, keep working, please work.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a lot of fun. Anyway, I don't want to spend all Nintendo Shack talking about that. I don't get a chance to I don't get a chance to talk with friends or what I would call normal people. I've been trapped in an EOC full of ex-military veterans and stuff like that, and they see my PSVG backpack and my Switch, and they're like, who is this child that we let into our center? So I don't get a chance to talk to folks, but oh, guys, we had a Nintendo. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Talk about games.
Let's talk about games.
Yeah, definitely.
This week in Nintendo, we had a Nintendo Direct today, of all the days that I decided to come back.
Out of nowhere. Like, where did it come from?
So I've known this was happening for quite some time. Like, this has been a very, I don't want to say common, but if you follow like Nintendo folks or like Nintendo news, I don't know. I mean, you probably have to dive pretty deep. It's not like the IGNs have not been reporting it, but if you've been following like the reporters that usually cover this type of stuff, they've been talking about this Direct for weeks now. Like even to this,
I've been hearing there's going to be a Direct next week for the past 2 months.
The difference being is that they've all said it was today. Like they've all pointed to today. They were like, I know, and I'll shed a little light. I should have brought the names. I don't remember all the names. I've been posting my Discord, and they're like the normal folks I typically follow. But the thing that makes this different than those general rumors you're referring to is that they were all centered around a game. Like all the people said, I know that there is a game that will be unveiled on this day, and I'm told it's a part of a Nintendo Direct. Which makes me think, I'm going to call them out, it's got to be 2K games. Like somebody had to get like a release or a PR or something that was like, BioShock Collections coming to Switch. Spoilers, we're going to get there. But I think it had something to do with that. But for a while now, I've actually known that we were getting Direct and it was supposed to be today. To be honest with you, I was just going to be a little more shocked if it wasn't today. But obviously, with all that's going on in the world, I could understand if it was just like delayed. I wasn't holding my breath, but I was expecting it.
I told last week too, it's like I'm not going to believe anything until Nintendo shows me something. And I understand these reporters are like, hey, I know this game is about to come out and it's going to be in a Direct form. I'm like, I'm seriously, with all the rumors and everything, I'm not going to believe, like fully committed to it until Nintendo at least tells me at least ahead of time, maybe at 24 hours, that it's going to hit Direct.
Especially with everything that's going on right now. Even if they did plan to have something, who's to say that those plans wouldn't get changed?
Chris Scullion. Hey, Carol's in the chat. Yeah, he said it. He's been saying it for weeks. There are other folks. I want to say Jeff. Is it Grab?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's been doing it.
Jeff
Emily
Grubb,
mentioned it. Some of the other leakers that I follow have been retweeting it. I think Sabi retweeted it. I want to say Mystic did too. So, I mean, it's been out. If you've been looking for it now, what I was going to say to conflict with you, Garrett, is I love that approach you're taking. I want to be surprised. You're like living in the Devin world. I will listen when these publishers tell me. I don't live that life. I'm all about the shadows of Twitter. I want to know anything that I can find. I will dive into Reset Era if possible. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I'd been in the loop for this one for a bit.
Okay, sounds good.
But it makes sense. But we got it. So rest assured, Garrett, they finally told you. Now you can believe it.
Yeah.
Do you believe it?
And I went through it.
Do you believe that it happened?
I believe it happened.
No, I just want to make sure.
Yeah, exactly.
So, all right. So our direct opens with a nice little note that makes sure everybody knows, like, hey, dates are subject to change.
Yeah.
And I wanted to mention this because right before all this really started to break and my life got flipped upside down, I went over on the Nintendo Dads podcast. Shout out to those guys. Mm-hmm. And I got into it a bit with Marty because he was all like, we don't know what we're going to get ever. Like, we're never getting any Nintendo games. And I was like, calm down on the panic here. Like, we got Animal Crossing. They'll tell us soon enough. Like, they're going to have games. And I feel at least somewhat redeemed. Like, of course, Animal Crossing comes out. Here comes the direct. Here are some more games for everybody to look forward to and buy. You know, like, so, like, I told him, like, there are games that are coming. Chill. Everybody chill out. But what I mentioned in that is it's likely that this whole coronavirus stuff might have things kind of shaky on shaky ground when it comes to dates.
I think that has a lot to do with it.
Yeah. Like, you'd imagine that they're like, is this game going to be ready? And they're like, oh, we don't know right now. You know, give us a few weeks.
I think that's understandable, to be honest.
Of course. So the show opens with Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition trailer. Now, this game's date has leaked, I don't know, it's like 2 months ago?
Yeah, it's for a while now.
We've all known it's coming out. Yeah, and it's the same day that Last of Us 2 comes out, right? Same day?
I think it's it's on that day, I think. You pre-ordered it, man. You pre-ordered it.
I pre-ordered it. Just spoilers. I bought it. I'm going to get to it. I just have no idea when I'm going to get to it. But thanks to the birthday present of PSVG, I just went ahead and grabbed it.
Good.
I let me begin, and I'll just say that I thought the trailer looked incredible. As somebody who's played this game, I played it on Wii U when it came to the eShop. I bought it, downloaded it, played around a little bit, didn't play it. I played this game like 10 years ago, 12 years ago. I played it on Wii, like the original time, and I was never, and I still am not, and I think you guys know this about me, I'm not really one for RPGs, especially JRPGs. They're not typically my thing. I think a lot of people, what I was going to say about this game, because we've never really had a chance to talk about it, I feel like in a lot of ways how people feel about Final Fantasy VII, I feel like that's how I feel about this game. Final Fantasy VII seems to be like the game that got a lot of people, like it hooked them. Yeah. Like they were like, I never liked RPGs, and then Final Fantasy VII. I feel that way about Xenoblade Chronicles for whatever reason. I know a few factors, but when this game came out on Wii, I had the Wii. I think it was before. It wasn't before I had 360, but it was like in between. Like at the time when I got it, my daughter had just been born. I'll never forget it. My wife and I were living in her parents' basement. I was working night shifts, and I didn't have a lot of consoles, and I definitely didn't have all the time in the world to like go buy. And it was before I was podcasting and following podcasts and following games. Right? I got Xenoblade Chronicles. And I loved it. Like, I absolutely loved it. And it's really not a thing for me. And it's the only reason I got X and played as much as X as I did. It's the only reason I got 2 and played as much as 2 as I did. And I didn't beat 2 and I didn't beat X. But I'm very, very excited about this one. And also hesitant. Because I'm a little afraid going back. But for anybody that is on the fence about this game, I want to tell you that I think the reason that I like Xenoblade Chronicles so much, and the reason I think it sets apart for me and JRPGs, is I think Xenoblade Chronicles story and its cast is like the best part of it. That was the thing that hooked me. And it's so like epic, and you have like these titans and these warring, factions, and
it's a fantastic setting. Whatever they built during that time was like, wow.
Yes.
It's a very good realistic setting, and it's also like it's a mix of fantasy and also it's not too far off from Earth. It's still more down to earth. I don't know. It's a really good setting. I feel.
And it was at the time like on Wii, it was huge.
Yes,
it was like this giant world, and I loved that about it. And for whatever reason, man, it hooked me. It really, really did.
Good.
And I'm excited to go back. I did ask Caroline, who I know is in the chat. I asked a question over there. Have you guys ever played it? Either of you?
Yes. And you guess what I played it on?
No, you've actually played it. Did you beat it?
I didn't beat it. I played a good amount.
Did you get past the turn? There's like a
okay.
big reveal.
I don't know if I did the big reveal.
There's I don't want to. Ooh.
All right, don't
How
spoil
hard
anything.
Is it to spoil it for like a game that's like 12 years old? But
I'll play through it.
You can spoil it. There's going to be a lot of new people playing it.
That's true.
I played it on 3DS.
Oh god, that's so embarrassing.
It's so bad.
I bought that. I was there with you, and I turned it on for like an hour, and I was like, "This is the worst thing ever."
I got 20 hours, and then I got to the point where I'm like, I can't see my person. I literally can't see. It's a little tiny black square, and then all these enemies are polygons, and I'm like, this is so bad.
Oh man,
I just can't.
It
I
looked
know
like it's like an
story.
N64 game on 3DS.
Exactly.
It was real bad. There's a returning character.
Okay.
Did you get that far? You'll know what I'm. If you don't know what I'm talking about, then you didn't.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so.
So the question that I asked, just to prepare Carol a little bit, is there's a returning character. It's a big swerve, and then there's kind of like
He's trying hard not to spoil it.
Xenoblade Chronicles in a lot of ways can honestly be almost described as like two games. There's like this first game, and then there's like this second game. It's like a second thing that you do, and they're very kind of different, like in motivation and everything, right? The second part of the thing, I don't remember all the. I was joking earlier because Caroline's in the chat and she's talking about all these characters, all these like sub storylines. I don't remember half of it. Like I know the characters' names, but I don't remember all of it. But it got me remembering. It got me like thinking about it, and I was like, I remember the second half of that game being like a slog, like not like a just real grind, which Carol loves. Like that's her thing, not my thing. So one of the things that I was hoping to hear is like maybe they would clean some of that up or speed it up. You know, like a lot of those Square Enix games, like they release on iPad and stuff, they have like fast forward options or like skip options and things like that to make it a little bit more chewable,
accessible, quality of life enhancements, kind of like Monster Hunter and
like Wind Waker did that on the Wii.
Wind Waker did that as
they
well.
Cleaned up the quest and all, and I was hoping to hear something about it, but I didn't.
Is there something that makes it like definitively new or like different that would be worth it for someone who's played it? Like not someone like you who loves it a lot, but
that's a real good question because I was watching this today. As you guys know, I was in the Discord. I was kind of watching it at work, so like I had like 3 screens, had it up on one screen, and I was like watching it. And when somebody come by, I'd like click a window up and like freeze it, and then I'd like try to watch it again. I had like one earbud in, but I was also working. Like we had conference calls.
Oh, gee, you're just like me.
So I didn't like study it, but Caroline, to her credit again, she jumped in the chat. And, like one of the things I was excited about, they were like improved menus. I was like, oh, thank God. I just assumed that they would lift like the UI from Xenoblade 2. Like they were just like, this is the new game.
Right.
But she says it's the same menus, like the same battle UI. Like it's all the same.
Oh gosh.
I was like, oh, that's not good. I bought it anyway. I'm not gonna like. I've always wanted it, even if it's if all I do is like take a stroll around in it for 4 or 5 hours, like that'll be fine for me. Like I want to have the game. But I don't know how to answer that question, Rebecca, to be honest with you.
I feel like it's such a blind spot for me. I feel like I don't know, and I know a lot of people love it. I don't know anything about it.
I do feel like the 3 games are very different too. And I think they would honestly, I think they almost appeal to different people. Kind of. Xenoblade Chronicles, I don't think X or 2 come close to that story. Like the story of Chronicles, I was just really into it. I don't know, it's hard to explain like how, it's very dramatic. There's like a lot of like, not implied romance and things like that, but like it's very dramatic, like this little tight cast. And I think at the time it just hooked me. I don't know if I'm still hooked by it anymore, but I never felt that way with 2. And then X, like the story was kind of like the worst part of it, but its world and its battle stuff I really liked, and it had giant mechs that you got halfway through the game that were freaking awesome. It was like Gundam. It was really, really cool. So they're very, very different games, each one. So What about you? I'm sorry. I just realized I look up and I realize I've been hogging the mic for like 10 minutes. I'm sorry. What did you guys think of Xenoblade? Anything else?
I mean, I got really excited for it. It definitely looks so much better compared to the 3DS. Like this is just miles better. I'm still worried about the UI update, as you said, with the maps, but we don't know much details about quality of life enhancements in this port. Like they really just did a trailer, a very broad sweep of like, yeah, we'll have some, epilogue mission, we'll have some extra UI updates, but other than that, that's all they said, and a release date.
Yeah.
So we still don't know what the quality of life, like biggest improvements from the original port. But I am very interested to go back into it and try to finish it up, because that 3DS was just a struggle to me. And I really wanted to play it. I could tell it was fun, like with the combat and everything. It just got to a point where it was just a pixel. I'm like, no, I'm good.
Yeah. What about you, Rebecca?
Yeah, again, it's a blind spot for me. It's not something that I'm particularly interested in. Maybe it's a series I would get into, but not something that I would probably pick up day one.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Just because I don't know anything about it, but never really interested me.
The next one, I believe, is a real big one for a lot of people. 2K's most beloved franchises are on the way, and they're on the way all on the same day. May 29th, you will get XCOM 2 Collection, Borderlands The Legendary Collection, and BioShock The Collection, all releasing for Nintendo Switch. Hooray.
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised they didn't open with this, to be honest. I don't know. That was more surprised. Like, that seems like it was a more surprising announcement to me.
I know a lot of people are excited for this one. I know there's a lot of people that have access to these games, right? These games have been out for PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, and people have had access to them, and they're available cheaper. Like, that's a part of it.
The first time they're on Nintendo, though?
Yes.
Okay.
And
that's what I thought.
We see how well the Switch has been selling, like continues to sell, continues to set new benchmarks. And I think, I feel like I always have to defend it, and I don't want to. But, like, it's portable. You get to take it
That's the thing. Yeah.
It's different.
Take it with you. Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know. Like, this is the case for all, like, major third-party ports. Like, there have been very few that are day and date. And, but we've also seen that they sell well. So does it matter? I don't know. It feels a little... We're in year 3 of the Nintendo Switch. Am I going to say this every time? Like, does it make any sense for anybody to say, well, it should have come out sooner and these other systems already have it? It's like, it's been 3 years now. Like, we're going to keep saying that, or are you just going to kind of let it go at some point?
Yeah. So I am probably the most excited about these 3. I do have all 3 of them in PC and other systems, but as Donnie said, it's the portability. And if I really get cross progression, and I really Borderlands and XCOM 2, if those 2 have cross progression, that's a day one purchase for me, because I can just go to my PC and then play what I want to play. Like I have Borderlands on Steam and Epic. That would be an interesting technique. I don't know what they'll have to do, maybe a Gearbox account or whatever. But if they have cross progression to the Switch, I'm like, that's a day one buy for me. And I honestly love the Borderlands collection. I love that franchise a lot. I played a ton of that with my friends. XCOM 2, I haven't played as much, but it's a strategy. It's a turn-based strategy game. And like, that should be my bread and butter. I should be really into it. I know it's hard. I know it's punishing. And then, of course, BioShock is BioShock, man. I just can't wait. I love that story so much. So I'm very, very excited for these to come on the Switch due to the portability.
See, I'm on the opposite end, where I have never played any of them before. And being as like a Nintendo-only person, this is the first chance that I have to play any of these games if I'm thinking about them. And I think Borderlands is an example of one that I've always been kind of interested in, but like not enough to go out and buy another console to play it, kind of.
Yeah, sure.
That's true.
So that means a lot to me that like now I have that choice.
Borderlands is fantastic with co-op as well.
Oh, okay.
Couch co-op is amazing with Borderlands because it's always split screen. It can go up to 4 players, and each of you guys have your own character and you're leveling your own stuff. It's a really fun time playing couch co-op.
Yeah, and now that's something that I would consider. So.
I think I've been saying on Nintendo Check for a while, I've been wondering why the BioShock collection never came to Switch.
Yeah.
Their last gen games have been touched up, but like they've been available. They're not like huge file sizes. And I think out of the group, not to disservice any of them. They're all three of these franchises have huge fan bases and are very successful. But BioShock feels like a little bit special, especially in the single player narrative space.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people, it's going to appeal to a lot of folks. BioShock Infinite's incredible. That's a great game.
It's a great game. I
might buy it just to replay it. Like I have the BioShock collection on Xbox. I've replayed Infinite, but I might play it just to see it on Switch. Do you have any hesitation with the ports? So, because I'm always in that space. I'm always in that space now. When I see a big port, I'm like, that's exciting, but let's wait and see how it actually looks when it releases.
Yeah,
what I find interesting is the Borderlands Legendary Collection. It looks like it's all three. It's Borderlands 1, 2, and 3. And the third one just recently came out. And I'm just like, ugh, it might chug on the Switch. We know that the Borderlands 2 port to Vita, PS Vita, was not, that was rough. They had to eliminate blood and how many bodies were left after you kill a certain amount of people in there. So, I would be worried more about just Borderlands 3. 2 should be fine by now with the Switch, but maybe the thing with BioShock is it's already been it's like on last gen consoles as well, 360 and PS3. They run fine there.
Yep.
And then BioShock Infinite was just the most recent one that's not been remade on PC or whatever. I just don't see how that's gonna chug. But we'll see how the ports go.
I don't
know. Yeah.
You're going out there with a lot of hope. You don't see how it'll chug. I give you dozens of games that chug that you have have no business, like indie games. Like the Switch,
that's true.
The Switch seems to have, there's an art to developing for it. So I hope they're good. I really hope they're good. I hope they hold up, to the levels that's been set by Doom and I guess The Witcher. I don't know. You're playing The Witcher on Switch. Is it a really good port?
I mean, you can play it. That's the thing.
You can play it. Nobody wants to hear that when it's here's $60. You're like, you can play it.
It goes the lowest it can go. It's 25 frames per second.
You just made fun of Xenoblade Chronicles on 3DS. You're like, you can't. It is playable.
You can see monsters. It's not all pixelated.
That's the bar we're at.
Exactly. I wonder who's doing the porting job for these guys. Is it 2K? Is it in-house?
I should have looked it up.
I'll look it up later or something.
The thing that I wanted to say, Borderlands for me never really struck my fancy. I bought 3, I played 2, I tried doing the Telltale one. I don't know, it's never really grabbed me. I love BioShock, but here's the thing. I've said this for a long, long time. I almost bought it on PC a while back on eBay. XCOM is the game that's very successful and popular that I've never played.
Yes.
I've never played it.
Yes.
Never have. I don't know why.
Okay.
There's really no reason. I've never seen it, and I've been like, that's a game I want to play. I've heard people say great things about it. I don't know why. It never grabbed me. But after Mario Rabbids, because I really love that game, played it crazy amounts. Right then, that first week, people are like, "Oh, if you like this game, you should play XCOM."
You would probably.
It's the same combat system. It's just more punishing.
So I started looking around for it, and I actually reached out to Josh. One of the things that held me off on buying it is I don't know where to jump in with XCOM. It's if you search XCOM on Steam. There's 4,000 listings of XCOM. There's a bunch of different flavors and packs and DN. So maybe because it's Switch and because I am a Nintendo fanboy, maybe this is the place where I jump in. Maybe I grab this XCOM thing. It looks like these ports are $50 a piece, I think is what they're selling on eBay. I have seen all of the games listed individually, so you don't have to buy the collections either. They're on the eShop. So if you just want to get Infinite, you might be able to get Infinite at a much cheaper price. I would hope $19.99. I feel like Capcom set the bar at the $29.99 thing.
Yeah,
but
I don't see them selling individually. It sounds like it's a collection. I don't know.
No, they're on the eShop. They're all listed.
Oh, they're on the eShop right now. Yeah. Oh, okay, cool.
I dove around the eShop to get some things today, so they're there. They're already. It looks like you can buy them individually. You may have to buy them individually digitally.
Right. I see.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
On the carts. Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 is getting an expansion pack featuring Fantastic Four and Doom, plus a story campaign. It'll cost you $20. Shinsekai Into the Depths is a deep sea exploration game that dropped today. This was formerly an Apple arcade game. I'd never really seen this one.
Yeah,
it looked like a interesting little platformer, kind of.
The concept looked cool.
You guys like deep sea games? Yeah.
What did I play? I played Abzu. That was a cool game.
I beat Abzu as well. Yeah, that was
yeah,
that's a good one.
Oh, okay.
Animal Crossing's Bunny Day event is coming. Between April 1st and April 12th, residents of the island can participate in Bunny Day to find eggs hidden by a bunny visitor zipper and craft special items with them. That is really, really cool.
I appreciate that they're making the event longer. It's not just like a single day where you have to do it. Wasn't it in previous games you only had one day to do it, and if you missed it, then too bad.
Yep.
Yeah.
But
I think I remember.
Yeah, I think so.
I remember handing out candy while also playing like trick or treating on Animal Crossing. I was like doing the same thing.
But I think like Zipper only came on the actual Bunny Day itself.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I like that they're giving like it's almost 2 weeks to do the whole thing, so you don't have to play on that exact day.
Did they confirm that it's like an update? Like I think they did, right, in the show.
Yeah.
Day one update, then you get this.
Yeah, that's cool. So that's good. I think they're going to force an update with these events, so you have to worry about time traveling and all that type of stuff.
Yeah. There's an update later on in April as well, so it looks like they're starting to roll out these updates like it's a kind of like a live service-ish game. Like, it's new events in each and every time. So I find that interesting.
Do you know if we'll be able to hide like our own eggs? Like, could I hide eggs and let my kids go find them?
Probably.
Yeah, probably.
That'd be kind of neat. I might look into that. Get into that later.
Yeah.
Hide eggs into their islands.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't see why not.
Good Job, out today, $20. It's this physical adventure, or physics-based adventure puzzler thing. Kind of reminds me of Goose Game, but it's a little crazier. Where you have to do all these tasks. You're the son of somebody in the corporate ladder, and you have to do all these tasks. And they showed some really funny stuff of him like catapulting a file cabinet through a wall and writing an extinguisher everywhere. I almost bought this one because Jack thought it looked really, really funny, but I wanted to hold off and see some reviews. But this one looks like it might be fun, kind of like stretchers, kind of like moving out, kind of like in that type of game space.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah.
It looked cool.
I'm very excited to announce that Catherine Full Body arrives to Switch July 7th. Cool. Buying that game. Yep, I love Catherine.
I remember you saying you loved that one.
Oh, it's really, really, really good. I remember one of the first games that I ever thought like pushed like the boundaries of what was allowed in games in terms of being actual, like, not like dancing around the idea of sex. Like actually like bringing it in and making it a part of the story and having romance and things like that. I always thought it was great. Plus the puzzling thing is actually somewhat addictive if you get used to it. You start climbing around the goats and the boxers and everything. It's crazy little game. I really wanted this when it was announced. I almost bought it on PlayStation 4. It was on sale. Yeah, I think we were talking about it. It was on sale for
it was like Steelbook too. And I'm like, oh gosh, it was like $20.
I was like, I'm gonna hold out. I'm gonna hold out. It's gotta come. It's gotta come to Switch.
It's going on Switch. Yeah.
And it should be an easy port to make. My only issue with this, it's probably going to be $60, which is what I think they sold.
50.
Was it 50?
It's 50 MSRP, yeah.
That's a lot. That's a lot for
Catherine.
It is.
Yeah.
I think when I got Catherine on Xbox 360, I think I got it for like $20.
How long?
Yeah.
Ooh.
It's long.
Yeah.
I think.
Okay.
It's not as long as Persona. I think it's like 40-ish hours or something
long.
like that.
Is it?
Oh, really?
I don't think it's that long. It's like it's not like an indie game by any means, but it's, I'm looking at it.
I don't know why I thought it was a shorter game.
Mm-hmm. I find it interesting that Nintendo, their audience, like we can tell their recent messaging with this game. It's like, well, it's not just to kids, guys. It's Catherine Full Body.
It's like 15 to 20 hours for the main, but if you want to do all the completionists and get all the items and everything, it's like 75 hours.
Got it.
Okay, that's not bad.
No.
Exciting.
I'm super excited to get into it too. I haven't played Catherine Full Body, and now that I see Catherine Full Body, it's like, when are we gonna get Persona 5?
We're not. We're not getting Persona 5.
Are you sure? It's Catherine Full Body. Like it's the same people.
I think
it's the same.
I think Sony has like a license agreement with it. I think they help fund it. I don't think we're gonna get it. We're getting Strikers. Be happy.
I'll be happy with that. I already pre-ordered Persona 5 Royal.
Wait till you get like a huge collector's edition of Strikers and everything. Oh, it's gonna be so good.
Oh man, it's gonna be good.
Ring Fit is getting an update with rhythm game mode featuring Nintendo music. So the soundtracks from Mario and Splatoon and Zelda, it's basically like a Beat Saber knockoff where the notes flow at you and you grab the little wheel and then you squeeze the wheel or you expand the wheel based on where they're coming. Did you see that the World Health Organization has recommended that people play active games at
No.
home to stay fit during the lockdown. So seeing that and then seeing this information today made me wonder, like, I bet somebody at Nintendo is really kicking themselves that like Ring Fit Adventure isn't on shelves.
Yeah.
We really missed out on something here.
Well, after seeing this, I'm not gonna lie, kind of for the first time wish that I had Ring Fit. Like,
It looks cool.
update makes me want it now.
Ring Fit's good. I mean, I don't think it's amazing. It's good. It's definitely good. I think
It looks
everybody
fun.
here at
I
PSVG
don't know.
is
I
playing
like
it.
I think it's good for like
plus Nintendo combo. I don't know. I love
It's a good workout.
it's an exercise routine you can get into that's more entertaining. So
Yeah,
I work out.
It's way more fun than like Wii Fit ever was. It's much better than that.
Yeah, I work out on a yoga mat doing push-ups,
Work
jumping
out.
jacks, or whatever. Yeah, I work out, and then I watch Netflix shows, and I'm like, if I rather do Ring Fit Adventure, oh
Make
yeah,
a little flex for us, Gary. Just like I work out. Listen,
I lift. Come at me, bro.
It looks
Anyways.
fun. It looks like a lot of fun.
so as the resident Beat Saber fanatic here, I gotta tell you that I think it's cool. We didn't like it. We downloaded the update, but we didn't get a chance to play it yet. We will. I can't tell you that I'm going to play it a lot. I don't think I will. When I play music games, a big part of it is listening to the music. And I don't know if I want to ring fit to, Breath of the Wild music or Odyssey music. No offense, those soundtracks are great, but like personally, like if I'm working out, I want to work out to workout music or like something I actually want to listen to on the radio. I'm like, I don't necessarily think this fits here. It's like
I think of it as more of a fun type of thing. I know it's meant to be for like workout, but for this particular mode, I wouldn't use it as a workout for the saber thing. I would do that more of like this is for fun, not to like work out and listen to workout music.
I hope they put Animal Crossing music in there, and you can just like to like the little
That would be relaxing.
the little acoustic strums.
Yeah, that'd be so cool.
Smash Fighter announcement, kind of,
That was
sort
so
of announcement.
Ooh, so low key. Oh,
It was
my
weird.
goodness. It was very weird.
Here's the next Smash Fighter that we will announce later. We are announcing that we will announce a Smash character in June.
This was weird to me. When they like first showed it on the screen with all the characters, my first thought was, oh, it's going to be some kind of gimmick character, including like either all of those characters or like a make your own fighter with arms type of like own character thing. Like I didn't really understand at first that it was going to be one of those that we're not going to tell you yet.
They didn't announce like a vote or like you'd think that like they do a camp. It was really weird the way that they displayed all of them, because if you're me and you're like watching it while you're trying to not get caught watching it, I was like, are they adding all of the ARMS characters to Smash? Like what's happening?
No, I had no idea. It's like I see a Smash invitation letter. I'm like, who's it going to?
Or I was thinking like maybe they announce like a tournament and whoever wins will like get one, or something like
Like,
that.
all right, we're designing you.
Right? It's like everybody pick a team. We're gonna have a Splatfest. Whoever wins is like in Smash. That would be fun.
Who out of those choices do you think it could possibly be? Because some of them are me costume fighters. Some of them are trophies, right?
So probably not.
Yeah,
them.
you're right.
But then it would have to be
Because like the main character, Ribbon Girl and Doofus, they're trophies, right?
They're
They're trophies.
Yeah, I think they're trophies, or not. They're whatever they're called. The
me fighters.
Yeah,
Oh, they're me fighters.
They're
Okay.
me fighters.
Spirits.
It may not be them.
Spirits.
then.
Sorry, the Smash community just got really mad when I said trophy.
Oh, spirits.
Spirits. They're little characters on the board game thing. Yes.
Yeah.
So if it's not one of them, it would have to be a not main character.
So I said it, and I'll say it again, and I know that I'm 100% not going to be correct, but it needs to be Twintel. It should be Twintel,
I think that's
100%.
a good choice.
But it won't be. It
I
won't
don't
be
know
for
enough
all the
about
memes.
Arms to know why it wouldn't be. Is she not a main character?
Like you don't want to like turn your safe filter on your Google browser off and then search Twintel.
Oh, I see.
Like that's the thing you don't want to do.
I see.
I think that's the biggest part of it, because Twintel is thick, which is like a big part of the internet craze with Twintel. So
We have a related ARMS fighter and Smash question. Can I?
Yeah.
Go for it.
From Zelda Gift World, with the announcement of a new ARMS fighter in Smash, please revisit why the most obvious DLC for ARMS never happened. And it was a picture of Inspector Gadget with all of these coming out of his head.
That's good. That's real good. Let's see here. I'm looking at the things. So we got Spring Man, which is the one that's like the most dumb of dumb characters. Like, it's not dumb, it's just the default of default. Ribbon Girl is fine. Min Min, I think, would be a good character.
I see a lot of people asking for her. A lot of people like her.
She has a lot of character to it. My son really liked Ninjara. I wouldn't be like, if anything, if it's not going to be Twintail, then I would go Max Brass.
Which one's that?
He's like the big. Let's see here. I'm trying to find a picture.
Who's the green blob?
The green blob?
Isn't there a green, like...
I don't know. I haven't played this
remember.
game in forever.
You're talking to the wrong
This
person.
game in forever. It's been so long. Yeah, Max Brass is like this. It's like he's just very cartoony. He's just kind of like Johnny Bravo type of humor. He's just kind of fun.
Gotcha.
But Twintail would be the one that I would want to go with. Moving along, Bravely Default 2 is coming out in 2020, which we already knew, but what we didn't know is that there is a free demo available on the eShop that you can play today. And Garrett, you played it. Tell me about it.
Yeah, I streamed it on twitch.tv/PlanExplosion and might stream it later on twitch.tv/PSVG. We'll see next week. So it is, as you know, Bravely Default, it is very Bravely Default combat. What this demo is, it's a separate story from Bravely Default 2. It's not intended to be the beginning of the game. It's not meant to be a save transition over. It sounds more like an early build, an early demo, where they want feedback on how the game, the combat, the pacing is
Like
going.
Octopath.
I was going to say Octopath did it.
Exactly like Octopath, yes. It's the same company, right? It's like similar. So, yeah, it's Bravely Default. It's 4 different completely characters. It's still 2 male, 2 female. You have jobs like, White Mage, Black Mage, Vanguard, and Monk in this demo. And then, so you pick their primary jobs, they get their skills, and then you try to, there's like a situation where you're on the desert city and you're trying to find the crystal there or something. It's like, typical JRPG quest. And I want to tell, the combat for Bravely Default, as everyone knows, it's very grindy. What's the unique about Bravely Default is that you have 2 kind of huge mechanics. It's Brave and Default, and so it's turn based. And so sometimes you have to default to like increase the amount of battle points you have, and then you use Brave to use multiple battle points to attack multiple times to enemies, and that's kind of the basis mechanics of the game. So I played about an hour and a half, I think, an hour 45, and I think I wish it has not a long way to go, but like the pacing is a little off for me in these first few levels. There's only like 3 or 4 or 5 types of enemies, and by the end of it, I was still struggling with like the top 2, even though I was grinding really hard. The difficulty spikes really fast in these battles, and then once you're strong enough, it becomes super easy. There's not really a middle turn here, and I think the biggest flaw in this combat compared to Bravely Default 1 is the turn order. In Bravely Default 1, it's you attacking and then the enemies attacking, and that's how the way it goes. In this game, it's random. It's like an enemy or 2 can attack you, and then you don't know how many of your allies are going to attack again.
There's not like a slider or a timer or anything?
No, there's no slider or timer. There's no turn order basis. I was really trying to like find it everywhere, but I couldn't see it.
That sounds confusing.
Yeah, it was. I think that's probably the major feedback they're going to get is that turn order. Other than that, the monsters is still too powerful by the end of it. There was a point where monsters were either too powerful or too easy for me, and I'm like, I don't know. This isn't really fun at the end of it. It was like a lot of grindy sort of areas, but that's Bravely Default for you. I mean, that's how the first game is. It's very grindy.
It's just a demo,
and it's just a demo too. And it's still coming out probably later this year, right? 2020. But yeah, that's my impression so far on it.
Well, I think it looks absolutely gorgeous, just like Octopath did.
It's freaking gorgeous too.
And as I've said all year, I am not playing RPGs that I absolutely do not have time for, and I've already bought one that I don't have time for. So I'm not buying any other ones until I play at least a good chunk of Xenoblade. I'm not committed to beating Xenoblade, but until I play enough that I've gotten my fill, like I did Dragon Quest, like 20, 30 hours, I'm good. I'm not buying another RPG. So let's be honest. I was probably never buying Bravely Default 2 anyway.
If you don't like grind, then you're not gonna like
It's
this.
like
game.
I'm the antithesis of that. I'm like,
Exactly.
I remember they came out with Final Fantasy 15, like the mini game, like with the little chibi. I was like, yes,
Yeah,
I just do the
yeah.
story without all of the stuff.
Yeah.
Rebecca, anything?
Not for me. Not a grindy RPG person.
Got it.
Got
Clubhouse Games is out
Nailed it.
June 5th. All right. I'm glad
Yeah.
because I
can
said
get
I said this in the Discord. I was like, how many people are going to roll their eyes when I tell them that I want to buy this game?
This was my favorite announcement.
Some
I
of the,
love those games.
Clubhouse Games, this is a return from the DS, apparently. I never had it. I didn't have a
I didn't
DS.
even know it existed.
Of a collection, this game collection. It has all the things you'd think, right? Like they start going through the list and they've got like Mancala and we got checkers and they got backgammon. And I was like, yeah, I don't care about any of that. And then they showed checkers and I'm like, that's cool. But I'm sure there's like some indie developer that has checkers for like 99 cents. And then they're like, and here's chess and here's
I know.
table soccer and here's golf and here's fighting and here's baseball. And
so
I was like,
many.
and then they were like, here's Bust a Move. And it was just like every little game that you've ever played. It's like all in one. And bowling. And it's not like little bowling, like table. It looked like
I mean,
Wii
there was
Sports
a
bowling.
golf one. There was a golf game
I
in there.
saw the golf game.
Gotta get it.
Yeah.
And that's actually exactly what I said to Jack. I was watching it and I was just like, we're going to have to get this game. Now, here's the thing. It's $50.
Isn't it? I thought it was 40.
Is it? I was told it was 50. Is it 40? Okay.
Oh wow, that's less than $1 per game.
That's
51
true.
games.
I
That's
still
true.
feel like it's high. Like I'm in
I
for
think
this
if
at
it
like
has polish, though,
$29.99.
If it has polish, I think it'll be worth it rather than buying each of those individual games for 99 cents, like, and having them separate. I think if
Sure.
the whole thing altogether has polish and it works well, even if you only play 20 or 25 of the games that are on there, I think to me that's worth it.
Okay. And like the baseball game is basically the exact same little baseball game that Mario Party has. Jack and I played the mess out of that game. The game is so much fun.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of value out of just a couple games depending on who you play it with. I think that this is the type of game that if you have especially non-gamers to play it with, you're going to get a lot of value out of it.
I'm not gonna lie. If this game was out today, I probably would have bought it.
I probably
You
would
get
get it.
Yeah.
It would be a good time to put that out.
I know.
right
I was
now.
like, man, everybody's at home. Like you play like because me and Jack we play chess. My son is a little chess player.
Nice.
And I had cards. We have a card table. We have blackjack table and everything. Like the whole thing. Sets
That's
on our giant.
legit.
We've got poker chips and everything. My kids know how to play poker. They know how to make bets. They
Hold
know how
on.
to. Yeah, they do. They know how to tap the table and everything. So yeah, when I saw
go.
this, I was like, this I kind of want to buy this game. And I feel like everybody probably was rolling their eyes when they showed this on the direct. I was like, this looks like a lot of fun.
I want to learn some new games from here because they were getting obscure in some of these namings. I'm like, I've never played that before. It was,
Like which one?
Mahjong Solitaire. I think it was like it was some Go. I know the game Go in China is very, very popular. I forgot exactly what the full name they mentioned it. So they have Othello kind of games as well.
Sure.
I would be interested to learn some of that and play chess.
They were just missing Minesweeper. If we just got Minesweeper in
Yeah.
there with like Solitaire, it would have been sold. Like a little Brick Breaker too. Man,
Yeah.
must have. Oh, I'm excited. Clubhouse Games. You know what we didn't mention? As I'm sitting here looking at the list, we didn't mention that ARMS has a free trial for like the
Yes.
like 10 to 15 days or whatever. You can download and play. Is it for Nintendo Switch Online?
Online members,
Which
yes.
is cool.
Yeah.
We downloaded it because Jack kind of oddly, my son got weirdly excited when they were like, ARMS is coming to Smash, a game that we played for 3 weeks and traded in when the Switch launched, and we have never played it since then. And they were like, ARMS is coming to Smash, and he was like, yes! I was like,
I forget who it was on the Discord. Somebody asked, do you think that they're trying to set up for an ARMS sequel?
I would hope so. I think that would be. I think I'd be open. I'm open to seeing ARMS come back. My biggest feedback for ARMS is ARMS needed more like multiplayer stuff, like more party games type stuff. Because like we had the fighting and you had the basketball, and the fighting was fun. We liked the fighting, but if you're not very good at fighting, you know, like you need more than just the basketball. You need a couple of those basketball like fun things to do together. You know, I was thinking like Mario Tennis, Mario Golf, like do a little arcade thing with it. And I would be, you know, I'd be into it. But that's cool. We downloaded it. I downloaded the game. I mean, hey, it's a free game. Nintendo Switch Online. We haven't played it in a couple years, so we'll get a little dash of Nintendo launch nostalgia and jump in there and throw some arms again for a little bit. I got new Joy-Cons. Might as well.
Nice.
Ninjala, the free-to-play game, is out May 27th. This is the online. We've seen this one before, right? In a direct. I've seen this one before.
I don't even remember this one right now.
This one's
me
cool.
neither.
This one's real cool. It's 4v4, free to play, like, I don't know, battle royale type things. You know, it's going to be one of those. And if you've never seen it, I think you definitely deserve looking it up. I think it's quite good. I think it I don't know, it could be a hit depending on how well the online stuff is, but I think it looks really good.
Okay.
The Pokemon Expansion Pass, specifically the one that's coming out in June, the Isle of Armor, got a nice overview. Trainers can gather at the new Poke Dojo for Pokemon battles to master their skills. By training this dojo, players will receive the legendary Pokemon Kubfu.
It was so cute.
I love Kubfu. Kubfu is the man.
Looks legit.
Oh.
It kind of looked like they're going to give him to us as a starter and use him throughout the region. Did you get that impression?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And it says, you get Kubfu from the Master Mustard. And the Isle of Armor launches in the end of June. And they showed like some Pokemon, the Gigantamax. And to be honest with you, I didn't even look at it because I'm a huge Kubfu mark. And I was like, Kubfu! My son was like, you only like him because you like Pancham. I was like, how awesome would it be to have Kubfu, Pancham, and Cubone? Like, and just throw in like a Hitmonchan and a Machamp. And I'm like ready to go, man. Just, it's really, really great. So I'm very... To be honest, I don't know if they'd never announced Kubfu. I don't know if I got the expansion pass.
Oh, really?
that's
You're
how
just done with the game?
That's how into Kubfu I am.
You don't need to buy the whole thing.
Nah, I gotta get it. I gotta go to Colonel Mustard and all this. I'm excited. I'm excited to see the expansion. I really am. I you know, as my story was told in Shaq over the fall, I got the game, beat the game, sold the game, and then they announced the expansion pass, rebought the game, and bought the expansion. So I'm locked in. I'm excited to go play it, and I've been playing a little of the Pokemon over the last couple weeks. Not like routinely, but you know, when I'm bored watching TV, I've been watching a lot of movies and stuff. I think everybody is. You're all locked in. I've been picking up the Pokemon Go and catch some things. I think that the Pokemon Home, another thing that we didn't get a chance to really talk about, Rebecca. I've been going around, and every time I see a new Pokemon I don't have, catch it and I throw it in the home thing. And one day I'll complete it, probably 20 years from now, but something like that. Yeah, fun stuff.
They'll add 1,000 more Pokemon by that time.
To the Pokemon, Kyle the Pug wants to know what's everyone's favorite Gigantamax form and favorite Gigantamax move from the Galar Pokemon starters that they showed in the Direct today.
My son taunted me and made fun of me because I traded my starters away like instantly. Like as soon as I got the game, those things, they fetch a high price. Like I got like 7 Pokemon for my starter.
So you breed them
to get eggs.
I don't care. No, I'm not doing that. That's work. I'll just trade it, get the Pokemon I want, go win, dominate, and move on.
Well, they did show the Gigantamax forms or moves, I guess, for each of the 3 starters. The Rillaboom had the big drums.
Oh, I love that one.
The
roots and everything. It looked like a very cool animation. Especially like that one.
I am forgetting the Fire Bunny's name.
Cinderace.
Cinderace, thank you. Mm-hmm. Had and that's the one that I picked. I should know that. Kicked a ball of fire like a soccer ball.
Mm-hmm.
And then the water starter has like the water sniper.
Yeah.
For his move.
Way up top.
Lame.
Which one did you like best?
Who cares? Cubone, Kubfu. Let's move on. There were other games. I did like a little sizzle reel, and there were other games that were shown, so I'll just read them off quickly. King's Bounty 2, Star Wars Jedi Knight, Jedi Academy. Hang on. Okay. Star Wars Episode 1 Racer, the N64 returns. Panzer Dragoon, Saints Row, which we've known about. It's been leaked for weeks. Trials of Mana, The Elder Scrolls Blades, which was announced like a year and a half ago. Minecraft Dungeons, Warhammer 40,000. Mr. Driller Drillland, The Legend Heroes, Trials of Cold Steel 3, and Vigor. Coach Mo, super excited about Vigor. He plays the mess out of that game. And Burnout Paradise Remastered, which I think could be a lot of fun on Switch, and Fuser, which when I wrote the notes, I wrote Drop Mix because that's what that game is. It's just Drop Mix. So now, Garrett, out of all these games, any of these catch your eye?
King's Bounty was not in the reel. It was actually announced.
Yeah.
I find that kind of weird because I think they did, Dark Crystal was in the E3 Direct. I think they're trying to like, hey, people who like strategy games, here's one game for you.
Here's one thing.
Yeah, it looks cool. They have the first.
I didn't think it looked very good. I'm going to challenge you on that. I don't think the game looked very good at all.
Well, it's like a combat kind of turn-based. It's going to be a port
of like an old game. It's like a real old game.
It's not an old game. It's coming out this year on Xbox, PS4, and Steam.
Color me surprised.
Yeah, so I mean, it's coming from a small company. The King's Bounty 1 is on Steam for like $7, so I'll just try out, see how the combat is, and if I really enjoy it, I'll get on Switch probably.
Well, I'm glad that you're here and a part of our show to let fans know that, because otherwise they'd be like, this Donnie guy hates these strategy games. Yeah. But like I was watching it when they played it, I was like, this is the best way to like showcase you. It looked old. Like it
looks rough, and I was like, what? I never heard of it, and then I looked it up, and I'm like, oh, this is like a new game coming out this year.
I'll give them credit where credit's due. Panzer Dragoon, that looked like trash at E3. I'm not gonna like at its first showing. I thought the game looked awful. It looked much better today. Much more crisp, much more clean. Looked like much better presentation. I was like, okay, they've done a lot of work. I'd have no nostalgia for that franchise, so I'm not gonna get it. But
yeah, me neither.
To backpedal and eat a little crow. I made a lot of fun of that game at E3. It looks a lot better today. So if you're a Panzer Dragoon fan, buy away. It looks like it's worth it now. Anything else? No.
Pod racing. Is that one? Episode 1 racing on the way? Yeah, I played that as a kid, so we'll see how that goes.
Is that nostalgia going to get you back?
Yeah, probably. Well, it depends on the price too.
It's working.
It's working. Other than that, I'm good. Legend of Heroes Trails of Cold Steel 3. I know people are really into it. It's a very Persona-like game, so if you're into that, that's coming out on Switch. Elder Scrolls Blades. Oh my gosh, I played that on my phone, and I'm like, I'm just so done with it. That's pretty much it for me.
What are you, Rebecca? Anything?
I'm saying no right now, but depending on how much else is coming out this year, I might need to revisit this list and pick a few to play.
Get a few. I think Burnout Paradise could be a lot of fun on Switch. Nice little game. Vigor, I have no idea how that game is going to run on Switch. The screenshots that they have on the eShop look good, but I don't know, if they're captured on Switch. And then, out of this list, Fuser is the one that I'm absolutely getting. But I have a question about that one because I'm wondering if it is at any point, and I know it won't, but like I have this wild optimism that maybe I'll have like some sort of cross buy with my like Rock Band library, like if they have, or like a discount, like that would be cool. But also because of what Rock Band has done cross gen on the 360, like to Xbox One, I don't know if I can let myself buy it on Switch because I have no idea what it's going to look like if it keeps going. Like, what if it's a hit and it keeps going? Like, when the next Nintendo system comes, will all my purchases transfer and stuff? Like, because that's the expectation on these other systems. Whereas, like, if you bought Guitar Hero Live on Wii U, like that sucks. Like that really sucks for you. So I was thinking of that today because I'm really excited about that game. I'm definitely buying that game. But today was the first time it dawned on me. I was like, do I actually want to buy it on Switch? Who knows? And it may not do that well. Like maybe it doesn't do well. Maybe I get it on Switch anyway. I don't know. But it was something I was thinking about. Cool. So that wraps up all the announcements that came out in today's Nintendo Direct Mini. We've been going for an hour. It's not too much of a mini, but just to wrap our thoughts on it, Rebecca, I'd like to start with you. It didn't sound like a whole lot really captured you.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I feel like they have more up their sleeves, but are maybe hesitant to either reveal or give even release dates for anything because they might not know. I think that it's a little bit uncertain right now what their timeline is going to look like for the rest of the year, given like that they're probably doing a lot of working from home right now as well. So I think they probably could have had bigger announcements in this direct, a lot more things that I would have liked. And I think a lot of other people who weren't interested in a lot of these games would have liked. But I think they're unsure. I think they're holding back some stuff that might come out later in the year.
Okay.
So there wasn't a ton of stuff here for me, but I do think that they gave a lot of updates on stuff that people have been wondering about and, a good handful of new stuff.
Yeah, I would agree there.
As far as the mini goes, anyway.
I don't think this was like a great direct to go down in the history of directs, but I thought the show was good. I think it had a lot of announcements. I do admit though, I think a lot of the announcements are niche. They're niche games, and I think that'll be the hardest part with this is it doesn't have, the big Mario or Donkey Kong or Yoshi announcement that appeals to everybody. It kind of missed the mark with me because they're Persona Strikers, No More Heroes 3. I'm still waiting for a date, waiting for a price, waiting for collections, waiting to see what those games entail, and they're coming this year. And I was really hoping that we were going to hear from No More Heroes 3 today. Like when they announced that they were getting some sort of springtime direct, like that was probably my biggest hope, was that maybe we get at least a date, or a summer or a range or something. And no, we didn't get any of that. So, and then Piper in the chat says, "Where are my Metroid games?" I know there are a lot of people like, "Where's Metroid? Where's Mario? Where's all the things?" Right? And save it. It's coming. Save it.
Ryan Craig wanted to know, what do you think about shadow dropping a direct instead of giving the 24 to 48 hours of notice, and what can be determined by a complete lack of new first-party titles?
Well, again, if when I was on the Nintendo Dads podcast, they were talking about like this dearth of information, right? Like we went so long without a direct, and I mentioned, it was like, well, we had the Indies direct, we had the Smash direct. They're like, that's not what I'm saying. I'm like, I know what you want. But my response to them was, and I believe this honestly to be just the easiest way to explain it to people. The Switch has had a really great 3 years, packed full of 3 years. And if you look at it beyond just this 3 years, because games take a long time to make, it's not like something they just crank out in 4 months, right? It takes years to make a game. So if you look at it beyond that, say you take like a 6-year look at it, the last 2 years of Wii U was nothing. They held everything for Switch.
Yeah.
And then when the Switch launched, we got all of it. And it was like, oh, we've got a game every month. This is amazing. The expectation is should not be that they could keep that up. They can't. They didn't have it.
Right.
So I think we have been long due for a reset. And when you get in a reset year, right, you get some ports, you get some sequels, some things to hold you over. You get a great game like Animal Crossing that you can play for a very long time. And this is the perfect type of game right now. Quit always wondering what's next. Calm down. Play what's now. Play what's now, and what's next will come when it comes.
Yeah.
So I've been expecting this year to be this the whole time. I actually think in our predictions episode, I think that's what I said. It just feels like we're due for what are they going to do? Drop another Zelda, another Smash, another Kart, another Mario? They can't. They've fired all these bullets. We're about to start getting sequels. Right, we'll start getting sequels, Mario Odyssey 2. We'll start getting ports, and then we'll start we'll get Breath of the Wild 2. A lot of if you look at how Nintendo typically does their their releases in any given gen, right? You get Smash, you get Kart. They'll usually throw you one new IP or weird thing. Sometimes it's a mini game or a Mii game or something. They'll throw something in there like that, and then you'll get all of the other releases. You get Donkey Kong, a Kirby, or 6 Kirbys, and right. We're kind of in that. We've done the first half. Now we're about to get into the second half. Here come the Mario Golfs and the Mario Strikers and all of those extra things. So give it a little bit. I think Metroid can be the one. I think Metroid can be the one that it feels like it's way too much to believe it for this year, but maybe they have there's that rumor that there's the smaller 2D Metroid.
Maybe, but
that could be ready.
For me, what I think about instead of a 24, 48 hours of notice, I actually didn't like it. Just dropping out of nowhere. Exactly. Because I come back from the grocery store from the outside and coming in, and then I just see all of these announcements left and right. And then I'm like, wait, what's going on? Donnie, why did you Photoshop Xenoblade Chronicles onto your Switch menu? What are you doing? And I'm like, oh, a direct mini happened. And I'm just like, guys, just prepare me a little bit.
Wow.
24 hours notice would be great.
I agree with that.
Oh, I disagree with both of you. I love this when they do. This is not the first time they've done it. We've had stealth drop directs before. I think it's great when you just wake up to a surprise. I think it makes the viralness of it happen a little bit more. Everybody's like, oh my God, you see the thing? You're like, wait a minute. A thing happened and almost throws you for a loop. But I think the thing that I like about it more is we don't get the pre-Switch hype and the post-Switch fallout. Like when they just drop it and here it is, we don't have 3 days of every YouTube creator going, here's what you're going to expect, and here comes Metroid and Breath of the Wild 2. Imagine if 2 days ago they were like, Switch Nintendo Direct Thursday morning. How many videos and everybody, Breath of the Wild 2 is coming, guys. And then right now and tomorrow and Saturday, how many videos of Nintendo sucks and they're doomed and this is so bad and where was Metroid, right? So when they kind of stealth drop it, it kind of just is like, it is what it is. Like, here is the thing we had. And it's honestly like they didn't give you time to prepare your expectations because you didn't know.
That's true. Yeah, I think that's a very good point. That like there will be a lot of hype and expectations, and maybe you'd be a little bit disappointed. And this is probably the best direct to do it in because we didn't have a new first party title.
Yeah, this wasn't like their strongest direct. It wasn't like
even when you call it a mini, people will still hype it up.
For sure.
Oh, for sure.
How many Smash characters would we have ran through in the last 3 days?
And then when it was a mysterious arms rep, they don't even tell us who.
Yeah.
Wait, okay, so actually, can we go back to the arms thing?
Yeah.
Real quick. So do you think that the whole Fighters Pass will be first party characters?
I don't think so.
I don't think they can, but
yeah.
Why couldn't it be?
Because I think
because I don't want it to be.
Yeah,
It could be, sure.
A good collaboration with other companies as well. It's a very high esteem to bring your character into the Smash community.
And didn't Sakurai say something like the characters for the first pass were picked by Nintendo?
Yeah.
And like the second pass, he has more, or are they still picking the second ones?
Mix, it sounds like.
Yeah. I mean, I've just long said, and I know for one, I know Kevin doesn't agree with this opinion, but I think Smash inclusion is like the best temptation that Nintendo has to bargain with folks.
Yeah.
I don't honestly like, so that's why I really like it when they use third parties, because typically you need third parties. You put Joker in, you get strikers. So I'm all about Smash. Like I'm pimping Smash out to get me more games. So I'm like, yeah, man, like we'll put you over here, Dante, Devil May Cry 5 on Switch. Like let's get some more games over here. That's what I would do. I think it's great collaboration, but to your point, they could just go all first party. I don't think I would like that as much, but it doesn't matter about the past. So,
I would like it.
Who cares? So who are you missing? Who are the ones that you would want?
Oh, no. I mean, the only character that I want anymore can't be because he's an assist trophy, and that's Skull Kid. I'm here for the ride at this point with Smash.
So you're just. I mean, I think I'm there too. I think that's what I said the last time. It's like.
I think it's pointless to wish for characters at this point because what you can't predict who it's going to be at this point.
It's so glorious and grand as it is. It's like everything else is just a cherry on top. It's like look at this roster and look at these stages. It's amazing. The one I want's Travis Touchdown though, which is why I don't want it to be all first party.
Yeah,
I just want Travis Touchdown to Smash like one more time. Just give me one. That's all I need. One.
Anyone has a chance at this point.
All right, guys, let's talk Animal Crossing. A brand new big first party released, and I know we've all been playing the Animal Crossing. So our resident Animal Crossing expert, Rebecca, lead the way.
I mean, I don't know if you call me an expert, but I've been having a lot of fun with it. The first week, the thing is, I think the first week of the game is a little bit slow, which I'm okay with, but I'm curious, especially for newcomers, what newcomers to the series think of that slowness, because you can do a little bit every day, but the buildings take a day to open. Resident services doesn't even turn into a building until, for me, tomorrow, a whole week later. Because I know all of like the little things I can be doing, I'm keeping myself super busy in the game. I don't know if that's the same experience for you, Garrett, who like isn't, hasn't played many of the games before. And
right, I did play New Leaf.
You did
quite a bit. I think for me, I'm just trying to take my time with the game, and I think the game is like that's what I'm getting back, and it's a good chilled pace that I'm setting at. Yesterday, actually stayed up till 2 a.m. last night, actually finishing up my first loan on my home, and wrapped up the Nooks Cranny shop. So I got those two out of the way. It's really nice. I think this time around, I have a community to talk to people about Animal Crossing. When I played New Leaf, I had no one to talk to, and it was just a real kind of just grog. It was just kind of boring. But now I see like 80% of my fellow Twitch streamers are like streaming this game nonstop. And I'm like, oh, that's a cool little tip that I didn't know about. And I was like, okay, let me try that out. Oh, let me visit your island and let me grab your fruit. And like, you know, I got the Volt Paul and the pole in the ladder earlier just because I was just friends with these people. And I think having friends is a little bit more accessible to this game if you want to play a little bit more and know the different things. Like Carol just told me about the crossbreeding of flowers. And I'm like, I would just never know that.
Yeah.
So all of these different layers are getting handed to me, and I'm keeping myself busy as well.
Yeah.
And so I'm along for the ride. I'm just having fun. I think yesterday was the most time I've played. I think whenever I get back to it, I was like, all right, let me get into it and let me just chill. I think it's just a chill game.
I agree. And there's 2 additions to the game. I know one of them that I have a feeling Donnie is going to say that he does not like. That personally I like, that is keeping me playing the sessions for longer. Like you, Garrett, I find myself staying up so late, finishing my little tasks and finishing things. The first is the Nook Miles.
Yes.
Act as little achievements, and they're getting me to do things that I wouldn't normally do. There's Nook Miles for doing everything. Like in other games, like maybe I wouldn't go send letters to my residents. Maybe I wouldn't go, dig up some trees and move them. But like, because I can earn Nook Miles for doing all of those things, I find myself doing them and getting more miles and spending those. And it's a never ending cycle. So I've been enjoying that. And then the other thing is the crafting that I have really been enjoying. To me, in previous games, it was just like, okay, whatever item is in Nook's Cranny for that day is the item that you buy, and like you get it and you live with it. I like the crafting.
The crafting is so interesting because this is what I really think what happened. Nintendo looked at Minecraft and is like, that's what we kind of need to do. We need to craft our tools like this, and we need to break them. Just like in Breath of the Wild, like, how items break. This is what we're going to do in Animal Crossing as well. I know people are kind of just like, they break. That kind of sucks. But like, I think I don't hate it, but it keeps the system kind of going. It's like, oh, yeah, okay, I got to make this again, I guess. But yeah, the crafting system is kind of a really cool system. Just you can make a lot of different things, and then like, you get recipes, the do-it-yourself recipes, very randomly. Like you talk to your neighbors, or you find a message bottle on the beach, or you talk to Nook, or you actually go to your friend's island and like you talk to their neighbors, and they give you recipes as well.
I think the recipes come at a very good pace. I'm not feeling like there's nothing new to craft, but I'm also not feeling overwhelmed with a bunch of recipes that I like have no materials to craft them with.
Right. So I think it's overall good for now. I like how it's opening, not too overbearing. It's meant to like it's patience. Like just play the game at a chill pace.
Yeah, there's a lot yet that we haven't gotten to yet, just because like our town halls aren't open yet, and like the Able Sisters store hasn't been built yet. So what you're doing this week is not the entire game.
Oh yeah, it's gonna. They tend to play you for like months and maybe even years, because it's like you're going season after season trying to catch all the fish and the bugs and holiday events. I'm sure Nintendo's going to support this game for a really long time now, and it's a commercial hit. It's a commercial success, bigger than any other Animal Crossing game.
So many people who are picking it up for the first time.
I said it was the fastest selling Switch game.
It's there. I think currently, maybe behind Pokemon though.
It's like really, really, I know it's selling like gangbusters.
Numbers.
It makes me reconsider. I've long said that Animal Crossing is not a top tier Nintendo franchise. I still don't think it is, but we'll see. Maybe this time, maybe this time it'll go down to annuals. I think for it to really take a place, I think we got to get more than like one a decade. I think that's a big part of it for me.
Yeah. More recurring games, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think it's the kind of game that needs that, though.
I would agree with you.
It's designed to be played for years.
I meant like up until this point, like we had the 3DS one, right? And the Wii one I played, I remember I had the Wii Speak, but like I didn't like the Wii one at all. I didn't really get into it that much. Did you? No. So I think Animal Crossing really like got. I don't want to say got going, because I don't want to act like I'm super knowledgeable about this franchise. I'm not. I think Animal Crossing like reached a new like new level of prestige
Definitely.
during 3DS.
That's when I got the series.
And the Switch is only going to capitalize on that, considering that now, like, the world is so much more social and sharing. As I've been saying about this game the whole time, what Animal Crossing does is so much more ready for today than it was then. Like, this whole idea of this creativity and showing off your personality and things that you can do, like Minecraft. Like with Twitch and streaming and YouTube and clips and sharing GIFs and things like that, that can take Animal Crossing a really, really long way. But for me to consider Animal Crossing next to Mario and Zelda and, dare I say, like Smash and Kart and Fire Emblem, I think it's got to do more than just like sell well out of the gate. I don't want to, I know people are excited about it, but I would say 2 counterpoints, or at least explanations for its possible Switch sales. It's the first party game that's come out in a bit. Like, it's had some space, and everybody's home.
Yeah,
that's true.
So I mean, it's like really, really great for Nintendo.
That has a lot to do with it.
Yeah, I mean, it's great for Nintendo. I'm not trying to take anything away from the game at all. I'm just trying to provide some cause and reason.
There's a lot of hype of it right now, and I can especially tell with our community that people are playing it, but maybe 3 or 4 months from now, I'm wondering if they're going to keep going with this game the way it's going. People are crazy. They're time jumping and they're glitching and they're like having these magical houses and bridges and roads already. And I'm like, guys, what are you doing? Like, I guess that's how they
related to stuff like that.
Yeah, we do. Okay, I wrote down some bullet points. All right, so Donnie's Animal Crossing play. Here's what I wrote down. Local co-op party play. It's a mess.
Could be better.
Real not happy about that. At no point did the game tell me how to do it. So I played the game for a couple hours with Jack, thinking that I needed to unlock it, like everything else. I was like, it's got to be in a Nook Mile or something. It's in your phone. And I was like, I really don't see how it's happening. And I could go to other people's islands. Like, they told me how to do that. Took me to the airport and everything. Like, here's how you visit friends. Didn't tell me how to get my son in the game with me.
It's because they don't want you to. They want you to have your own Switch and Island, and they want him to have his own Switch and Island.
So I look it up on YouTube. It took me like 3 YouTube videos to figure it out. Like, it really wasn't even like that blatant. So here you go, folks. What you have to do is you have to have your family have to have their own profiles on your Switch. So I wasn't planning for that. Like, this is a brand new Switch. It's my Switch, so it has my profile on it and not the other ones. I was thinking, like every other co-op game known to man, that I would click something in the game and just be able to add somebody, and we would customize the villager there. You know? Nope. You gotta have a profile, a separate profile. They have to boot up the game separately and go through the tutorial. Like, go through the intro, like the setup. You got to do all the same stuff. You got to open it up. You got to create the little character. You got to go talk to Nook. You got to go pick out a plot. You got to come back to talk to Nook and everything before they open it up in your cell phone and let you play together. Which, okay, I'm not here to tell you it's not awful. I don't hate it. That's kind of a mess. Because here's what that meant. We had to do it 4 times to get 4 people in the game.
Wow.
Right? That's kind of a mess, right? We can all agree on that. Like, I'm not being harsh.
No.
Okay.
They weren't planning on co-op the way that they just designed that.
Because when I was doing it, like, we had family night. I'd planned all day for it. I was like, I got home. I had to work. It was Sunday, Saturday, one of those days. I had to work until like 4 o'clock. My boss was like, all right, we're done. Everybody, I was like, family night. We're going to play games. I'm sure like everybody else, like, I bought the Jackbox game. We were playing Jackbox. I was like, let's play Animal Crossing. How do we play? Donnie's playing around and digging holes and shaking trees. I'm like, I don't know how to put people in here. I'm looking it up. Now we got to go through this thing 4 times. It took like 30 minutes to get everybody in the game.
Oh my gosh.
Then when you get in the game, you got this leader thing where
I heard that like player 2s have like no rights.
you can't do anything. You can't pick up anything. You can't open up your inventory. All you can do is like, you can hold like your shovel and dig like where I tell you to dig. You can't do anything. So after all of that setup to do it, my son was like, I'll just wait until you're done. Because it's not any fun. Like, I don't want to say it's not any fun. Like, I'm sure if you had very new game player, like my wife had no problem walking around with me. She just thinks it's super cute and she's happy to be there. She's walking around, you know, like she's good. I'm sure, like, I feel bad. I feel like this is making fun of my wife. I'm sure if you had a young child, they would feel the same way, you know, like the 3 or 4 year old, they're like, I'm playing games with dad, you know. But my daughter, who had like a triple story house in Animal Crossing, like 3D, she's like, I don't want to do this. This is boring. And my son, who shockingly is like more Animal Crossing than all of us so far. He's like, I'll just play when you're done. So like they don't even want to play with me because it's so limiting. They'll just
I think
wait.
it's designed that way for the reason I said.
Which is,
It sucks, I know.
I was really hoping that we could all play, because when they showed it, all the villagers, like I realized that you've got the follow the leader thing, right? You'd have warping and all that, but I still thought that they could, you know, take out an axe, chop down, go grab something. Like you can't. It's very limited.
It's rough.
I don't.
It's crowded with 4 players too.
I also was looking forward to some of that chaos, which I have a little bit to report on. But the other bullet points they wrote down, item degradation, I don't like as much. Like, I find that to be a little tedious. I'm happy that I can build better tools now, so I'm not doing it so much. But I'm like, why do I have to keep building axes in a world where I just got to keep chopping trees? I'm just going to keep doing this. I got to keep building them over and over again.
That sounds like Minecraft to me.
My thought, or at least hope, was that the golden tools would be unbreakable, so it would be something like late game that you could work your way up to, and eventually by that point it wouldn't matter, because, you know, you're taking things slower at that point anyway. But apparently those break too, which I think is questionable.
Those snap too. And it really sucks when, and I think that's like a part of the game, but like when you walk far away to go do something and then your net breaks and you gotta walk all the way back.
Oh,
you know.
My slingshot broke, and then I saw a balloon, and then I had to go craft it, and then I came back and the balloon was gone.
Oh no.
So that's not the end of the world. I get it. It's crafting and it supports the crafting element, which my next bullet point, I think crafting is going to break Animal Crossing into like a whole new realm of creativity. And I think the things that people are doing and enjoying, if you're into that kind of stuff, is going to take it. I think it's a big part of what could take the game in a direction it's never been before. Some of the stuff people are already doing and building and sharing, like I'm already in awe. I'm just like, this is amazing. Look at all these people. Like Minecraft. I have that same thing with Minecraft. When I look at Minecraft, like I can't believe people do that. But here's the thing. I don't play Minecraft for that reason. I'm never going to do that. I might be in that space with Animal Crossing. I don't think I am, but I might be. I also wrote down that I think the world is lovely, and I really love the elevation. And that's, once I got my pole, shout out to Kyle the Pug, hooked me up with a pole, axe, ladder, everything. He helped me get caught up because I had a late start. And once I got to I picked the map with a lot of elevation on purpose. So I put my home down. Once I hopped across the river and climbed the mountain, I was like, oh, I'm going to move my home all the way over here. Because here's what happened. After we set up the kids and we played and everything, I played a bit. I left for work. I come home. I go, hey, did you check all the rocks? You shake all the trees? They go, yeah, and we built a museum right next to my house, and not next to it either, like diagonally next to it, but it's not even in line with each other.
That's why people hate. That's why people hate one island consoles.
I'm like, what did you do? He's like, we built. My son looked at me and he goes, now you don't have to walk you don't have to walk too far.
Smart guy.
He was looking out for you.
I was like, you have destroyed my entire world. So I've already claimed a plot of land at the very top. I have this little peak with my own little pond, and I was like, I'm going to put my little shack up here and let the rest of you destroy the land below me. Like,
they're going to build Nook's Cranny there.
Oh, God. I couldn't believe it. I was like, who does this? Who puts it right here? And it's on a corner. It's on a slant. You can't even walk between them. Oh, it's so awful.
Oh, I got to see that.
It's embarrassing.
You got to take a picture of
It's embarrassing. And I also wrote down, I thought the world would be bigger.
Yeah.
You can walk around. It's kind of, I feel like it's much bigger than the 3DS, but it's kind of small.
Big. Plenty big for
But me. I also wrote down, until I walked into the museum. And one of the things that I wrote down, and I scratched it out, because I walk into the museum and I go in the hallway and I got hit with the thing that I never wanted to get hit with. And that's that Animal Crossing load screen to go into every room. And that little wait all the time, that always bothered me on 3DS. And then I go into this room, I'm like, oh, it's back again. I'm going to write this down. And then it opens up to this beautiful giant room with all this stuff. And I was like, this is huge. Because I thought the museum is like the same size as my house, when it's way bigger. There's all this stuff inside. And I was like, okay.
The museum is gorgeous.
So as the game opens up and we discover all these things, Garrett, you're going to discover they're going to have layers and layers and layers and layers of things to discover in Animal Crossing as all this stuff unfolds. And like Breath of the Wild, we'll all learn about it from those people that are living on the edge, and they all find it first.
Yeah, that's true.
And they'll start sharing it and all that stuff, which is really, really cool. I got to say, I think ultimately, to sum it up, to give you a little impressions. I've really been enjoying it, and I think it hit at a really good time for me. It's been a really stressful week, and it is nice to just come home and just go hit some rocks and shake some trees. I am at the point, I've built the bridge, I've done the Nook, I've done the house, I've paid off the loan. I'm doing the thing now where I'm gathering all the things for the people's houses, which, to be honest with you, I don't want to do. Like, I kind of don't even want them to move in. I'm like, there's too many people here as it is. I kind of like, it's like, this is,
well, the beauty is you don't have to.
Right. And I was wondering about that. I was like, what if I just don't? I was wondering if it was like a story progression thing. Like, if I don't build them, like, I just can't advance forward anymore.
It might be tied to upgrading resident services.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, because I think after the third villager's house that you build, then the next day resident services closes, and then for renovations, and then
the other night I came home after work at about 11:30. It was a long one, and I got a drink, and I sat on the couch, and I logged in, and I had a note from Kyle the Pug, and he said, "I hope you've had a good day." And he sent me like a shirt or something, and I was like, that's the thing that Animal Crossing can do that just no other game can do, and it's just cathartic just to go pick weeds. Like, and I'm not doing anything, and I'm openly not doing anything, and I don't care. Like, it doesn't
and that's the thing. Like, it's the game is what you make of it.
I just wish I could golf. That'd be like the one thing, man. If I could golf, this game would be at a whole other level, man. I'm already trying to lay out. I'm like, I could build a golf hole like right here, and like maybe. Rebecca, you mentioned we had questions.
We do. We have quite a few Animal Crossing related questions. Vagabond Artist wants to know, are any of you cheating and time skipping in Animal Crossing, or are you playing it straight?
I won't shame those that cheat. I saw the patch has changed the duplication. The game did appear to be broken. I saw an Abdallah Smash video where he was just like, he had like 80 crowns in like every building, and I was like, Jesus, he's already done. Personally, I would never do that, but I'm not the biggest Animal Crossing fan in the world. I also, though, like, I kind of feel like that defeats the purpose. I don't know, though. Maybe the hardcore fans would disagree with me. Like, it does seem to be like a race to show everybody what you can do. But to me, Animal Crossing is all about like that daily monotonous grind. Like, that's what it's for. So it's kind of like, well, if you're just going to go catch tarantulas a bunch, like, make tarantula catching game. Like, I don't really want to do that.
I don't time travel either. I agree. I like the pace, and like it feels more like, okay, I've accomplished this. Like, I've waited for the museum to open. I don't know. I'm not in any rush. I'm going to be playing it for years. I don't need to rush.
And I won't be playing it for years. But I think my main goal when it comes to Animal Crossing is I want to build a little town that like suits me and has my personality, and everything's kind of, it's more of like a city builder for me. I'll let my kids do whatever they want to do, but it's like, for me, I want to build the shopping district over here. My residence is over here. I want to put some chairs and stuff out. I want to have my own little space. And then, like, once I kind of reach that, what I think of as utopian, then I'm okay, and I'll move on and start playing some other things and hop back in on holidays, go trick or treat and stuff like that. But yeah, that's for me. That's what Animal Crossing is for me.
Yeah, I don't do any of that stuff too, or time skipping or the tarantula stuff. Yeah, and I guess people, just do this just because they want to be first. And I guess if they enjoy the game like that, then I'm like,
they love that grind. They're just like, more bells. So
exactly. And if they enjoy the game the way that they're playing it, it's not hurting me.
There's no right or wrong way to play.
Exactly. So good for them.
Yeah. David Inner Lucidity wants to know, how many hours have you sunk into New Horizons already?
Oh, the annual always have to have question. How many hours are you in Animal Crossing?
That's the big Animal Crossing question.
God, this badge of honor thing. Is it, I talked to Sean about this off air when we were talking over the weekend. Is it just, now that I haven't got a chance to talk with you guys, do you feel like I'm off base with that? I always feel like it's like with the Animal Crossing thing, like how many hours
that's completely
do you play?
Accurate.
I feel like
that's because there's no end game. There's no I've reached this boss or done this plot line. It's that you're measured in how long you've been playing.
Okay. I know that was Kevin's thing, and I realized that. I don't know. Every time I see it, maybe it's just me again projecting. I always feel like it's I think what Jared called it, like a gatekeeping. I always read it with like a negative connotation instead of like a positive connotation.
I don't think it is supposed to be negative.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just me.
I haven't read it that way. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
I've been playing. I think I've been playing a little bit. 7-10 hours maybe.
Yeah, I think I'm around there too.
Oh, I've been
little
playing
bit
at
more.
Here
least
comes
5
the
or 6
addiction.
hours a day.
Day. Nice.
Wow.
Nice.
Goodness
I
gracious.
love that. I love when it oh man, when Breath of the Wild came out, I was 9 hours a day for like 12
Yeah.
straight days.
But I've been I've been able to do it. Like if things were like normal right now, I wouldn't be able to do that. That's because I'm working from home. I have shortened hours right now. Things are a little bit different right now. So like honestly, like I keep saying this, I feel like this game has come at the best possible time.
Oh,
for
sure.
me.
It's like
For
the
a lot of
universe is
people, for me,
aligned
yeah.
For the perfect Animal Crossing
Yeah.
like onboarding experience.
Like especially for this first week, like I'm able to dedicate more time than I would have. So that's the reason why.
That's good. I'm really surprised how much Jack is into it. Because he never liked it on 3DS, but he, for whatever reason, it's hit with him, and he's been playing it around the clock.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, he's into it.
Jen, the Lady Sugar Cube, wants to know what's your favorite fruit, or maybe like what fruit you got on your island. Opinions if they should add more fruit to fit with the island theme. What hemisphere do you play on, and if you play on the opposite, why? So there's 2 parts to that. The fruit. Let's start with that one.
I started with oranges, and I picked up some pears and pineapples from friends. I put pineapples on the beach, and I did plant some pear trees.
I have some peaches. Native fruit is pears, and I have oranges as well and coconuts. And I think, you know, there could be a lot more different fruit than what we see in Animal Crossing. Yeah, so my girlfriend's from China, and she always brags about how many different kinds of fruits that are native to that land, or even East Asia. And like one of the biggest, most famous fruits is dragon fruit.
Oh,
So I think that would be kind of cool to put it in. It's super pretty fruit as well. But yeah.
that would be fun. There are a couple, I think, from Pocket Camp that that were introduced. Like they introduced like grapes and lemons. So I thought that those were going to be in the game. Maybe they'll be added later.
Yeah.
My island started with cherries, and I was very happy with that.
I need to get some cherries.
I will give you cherries.
I'm playing on my
Come to my
hemisphere.
island and pick some cherries.
And I'm playing on my hemisphere because I don't want to
Yeah.
be playing.
Oh
on
yeah, the
opposite
hemisphere.
time,
I am
yeah.
too. Northern.
Yeah.
Because that's where I live, and
Yeah.
I want to experience the seasons as
Exactly.
as
like
as we have
seasons.
them. Yeah. Grouchy wants to know what specific event triggers the ability to have more animals move to the island. Did you invite new villagers yet? Because I can
think-
answer that.
I think I did. I think I got my first one.
I'm antisocial, so not really.
So you go to you spend your hard-earned Nook miles on the island tours, those mystery tours,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes you might see another animal hanging
Yeah.
out there. So then you can talk to them, and they'll talk like how it's so cool being on an island, and you can
Yeah.
say, "Well, why don't you come to mine?
Yeah,
Come,
that's
come
pretty
live
much
with
it.
me."
That's pretty much
And
it.
then they move there.
yeah, I would be like, no, stay away.
He
Actually, can you
Get
take
away.
these people that moved in? I don't want them here either.
also wants to know what's your favorite part of Animal Crossing so far.
Ooh.
Fave.
Go ahead.
I think it's right now. It's the collecting, getting a lot of different fishes and fossils. The museum just opened up, so I got a lot catching up to do. I like hearing Blathers a lot. I think Blathers is the most adorable character ever in the
So
game.
cute.
And everyone's like, "Oh, shut up, Blathers," and I'm like, "No, I want to hear about this."
I just wish he
sweetest
said something
story."
else. Like he
No,
just says the
what?
same thing
Yeah,
over
that's
and over and
true.
over again.
Garrett, you're talking about his animal facts, right?
Yeah, his animal
Yeah.
facts are so cool. He's like, "Do you want to
I
hear
love
more?" I'm
it.
like, "Of course, I want to hear more about this random dinosaur."
I love that he's like so disgusted by bugs.
Yeah, that too.
He's like, I guess I'll
okay."
tell you about
This
this.
wretched
Yeah.
creature.
But yeah,
My favorite part is actually something that I didn't ever do in New Leaf was playing online with other people.
Yeah.
That has been so much fun. And I kind of regret that there aren't more like in-game like mini games to play with
Yep.
them. Like I know there was that in New Leaf and I never got a chance to do that. So I thought that there would be
We should be able to
connecting
golf
online.
together.
Golf, like stuff like anything, honestly.
The soccer
Like I know
ball or a beach ball or like swim and stuff like that.
using the slingshot to pop balloons, I think was a thing in New Leaf. I don't know.
I think
Just
they're gonna
something
sell
else to do with friends. But even though there aren't like multiplayer activities in the game, I've been having fun taking pictures with friends and
Yes.
running around and checking out people's islands and picking their fruit and
It's because it's super adorable.
causing mayhem on their island,
It's incredibly cute.
Yeah,
hitting them with my net.
Yeah, I'll just echo yours. I mean, I think the most fun I've had was when I hung out on Kyle's Island, and there were just people running around, and I think I just like got in his chair on the beach, like it's like a lawn chair, and I just laid down and just like sat in the sun for like 6 minutes. And these people were like running around. I wasn't doing anything. I was just hanging out. That was it. It was just kind of like hanging out. It was like a podcast. We were just hanging out together. It'd be cool if it would be cool if we had like more social settings and chat and stuff like that. Would be really cool. I do like the little Nook phone thing, and it does make typing a way better than just doing it on the thing. I already got the Last of Us gear, which is cool. I like scanning in the QR codes. I wish you could scan in more than once at a time.
That's a pain.
Yeah. But I got the Ellie Last of Us shirt, so like I'm good. Like my customization is good. I don't need anything else. So that's I think my favorite part about it is honestly I think it's like again just like the cathartic daily task, like the chore. I think a lot of people playing Animal Crossing probably understand when they feel like I wake up and have breakfast, like bowl of cereal, and Animal Crossing. And it's like the first thing I do is I get up and check on my rocks, and then I get and check on the trees, and get up and follow the weeds. Yeah, it's just a part of the routine. It's just it's mindless. It's like that nice, just kind of vegging out. That definitely is like relieves stress, at least for me. It's kind of soothing. It's kind of calming. It's a great way to like start or end the day.
One more other questionable choice that I think they made was the have you noticed that there hasn't been hourly music during the first week?
Yeah.
The hourly music doesn't unlock until later. You upgrade resident services, which I am so sick of the music that's been playing. It's the same song. And I've already listened to the soundtrack, and it's so good. And like, why would they wait until you've upgraded? Like, for the people who are doing everything, the next day, every single day, it'll be unlocked in a week. But if you're taking your time and not doing the most you can every day, it could be weeks before you upgrade your resident services. And you're stuck with the same song. Like, anyone who's brand new to the series must think that there's no other music in the game.
Yeah.
You just jogged my memory.
Why would they do that?
That's an odd choice.
Not related to the music, but you just jogged my memory. I do kind of wish that I wish I could assign items to like hotkeys, like on my D-pad or something, instead of like the way they have it. And like even the quick wheel is okay, but like I can't customize it either.
Kind of rough, though. You can, I think.
I think you can change the order.
Yeah. You can change the order like in your thing, and then it'll change it on the wheel.
But you can't just like.
I can't go. I want this one like here all the time. You got to play with it. Like I was kind of wanting like, what if I just wanted like my ocarina to always be like left D-pad, or if I always wanted my shovel to be right D-pad, like the things you're using a lot. I think it would have been a little nicer if I didn't have to like take so long to switch between them. I was thinking like even like a Breath of the Wild thing where I could like hold a button and then like like quickly rotate.
Oh, yeah.
Like even something like that, because you're constantly going back and forth. It would have been nice if they'd sped that up a little.
I agree.
Cool. Any other questions?
That was our last Animal Crossing question. I think that's.
Give us one more for the road. We've been going a long time. I know we can't answer them all. Sorry, guys. It's been a long show.
That's kind of it.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That works then. Thanks. I thought we had a bunch for whatever reason.
We got through a lot.
Hour 37. That's a long time for Shaq. So I would like to end the show with a couple plugs, but before I do you guys have anything you'd like to add before we get out of here?
Animal Crossing's cool. I'll keep playing it. At my own pace, though. Like 1 hour, maybe 2 hours.
You'll be pure pressured. He's like, you're not going to get to me, internet.
You're not going to get to me. You're not going to make me time travel.
But that's okay. That's completely valid. That's how you play.
Yeah.
I agree.
Come visit
I play
my
other
house.
games as I go along. Yeah, definitely.
Rebecca?
No, that's it. Same thing.
Okay. Well, I would first like to plug PSVG Prime, which is doing a very similar show tonight, and they've got Caroline over there, and they are talking about Animal Crossing. And if you know Kevin and Caroline, you know that they are Animal Crossing.
They're gonna get into it.
Diehards, like they love mess out of that. And then also Caroline, probably the biggest Xenoblade fan I know. So if you're looking for more of that type of stuff, if you want more Nintendo Direct recap and more Animal Crossing coverage, make sure that you check out PSVG Prime. Should release on Monday, as it does every week, if you don't already subscribe to that show. So Nintendo Shack faithful, head over there. And then the second thing that I wanted to say, it's not Nintendo related, But if you follow me, you know my love of the mighty Xbox, and I have a surprise for you all this weekend. So if you don't know what that, if you're interested into Xbox news and you want to see what that is, make sure you subscribe on Twitch or YouTube, ring the bell for when we go live or when we release, or follow the PSVG Prime Master feed and be on the lookout for a release from the Xbox Empire this weekend.
Ooh, just it.
It's worth plugging. I wouldn't plug it if it wasn't worth plugging.
Exciting stuff.
So,
Yeah.
there we go. That'll do it for us this week in the Nintendo Shack. We hope you guys enjoyed the Nintendo Direct, and we hope you are hanging out and enjoying friends and family over there in Animal Crossing. And we'll catch you next week. Good night, Kooplings.
Bye-bye.